Coast of Maine will see a change in a few days. The Maine Maritime Academy training ship, State of Maine, is leaving and returning to civilian duty, and the young people training for careers at sea will wait for a new ship.
207's Don Kerrigan and videographer Scout Fishman got a rare inside look at the old ship, getting a glimpse of how the school trains Maine's merchant mariners.
In their final minutes at dockside, a few graduated seniors sign off the ship for one last time. You're headed off to your life.
Yes.
How's this feel?
Feels amazing.
Yeah.
Finally done.
Still on board are next year's seniors, fresh off their second 75-day training cruise to Europe and back. Familiar for them.
I love being out at sea. It's a great experience, just being able to sail, and it gives a lot of freedom. But
brand new for the 100 or so cadets who just finished their freshman year.
Cruise was perhaps one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
You know, not every other college student can do this, you know.
That time at sea is a big part of what draws students to this school, and to a life the rest of us may not understand. But we were lucky enough to share a taste of it as we sailed on board from Portland to Castine. Because this ship that's been training Maine Maritime students for more than a quarter century is going away. That will be a huge change for the school and the several thousand mariners who have trained on board during those years.
I was on this ship, and it's good to be back.
Including Portland Harbor pilot Calvin Klopp, class of 2012.
It's nostalgic to be here, but it's exciting to see what they have coming next. You know, these kids deserve the best equipment.
Down below, the ship's full and part-time crew and a few remaining students have grabbed dinner on the mess deck. In the galley, the kitchen crew works almost non-stop to feed 250 people every day of the long training cruise. Tashi Simpson bakes the bread.
I have a few packaged biscuit mix and stuff like that I use to help my load, but yeah, any of the artisan loaves and breads, that's all me.
It seems a near perfect night on the water. The State of Maine glides past Portland Head Light, then drops Calvin off at the pilot boat a couple of miles farther offshore. Now, with most of the students safely on shore, the State of Maine is outbound in Casco Bay, headed home to Castine for this ship, very possibly the last time she'll make that voyage. In another week, the State of Maine will be sailing south to be returned to the Federal Maritime Administration, which owns her. A brand new State of Maine is under construction in Philadelphia. She is one of 5 brand new training ships being paid for by the federal government. For Captain Mac MacArthur, it's kind of bittersweet. He was trained himself on this ship back in 1988.
I took my final cruise at Maine Maritime on board this ship as a cadet, and then I've been back as captain now for 3 years. So, yeah, and I live in Castine, so it's been a part of the waterfront in my hometown for 25 years.
Castine Harbor via the CH buoy in East Penobscot Bay.
Time and tide, of course, do not wait, and by sunrise, we're into Penobscot Bay.
This is the main engine.
In the engine room, Chief Engineer Aaron Coy and his crew, also all trained on the State of Maine, are keeping the ship moving smoothly. The ship still works, Bob?
Oh, it's in great shape. Absolutely. I mean, we were talking about this last night. We had 0 mechanical problems.
The ship is a huge and intricate machine, and this is the heartbeat. The engines, the pumps, even the massive propeller shaft all have to work perfectly together. All students have to learn their way around down here and learn what each part does. After the first cruise, some will choose to specialize in engineering. Others will decide to work on the deck and the bridge. Third mate Megan Doucette trained on this ship as well. She went to sea for 2 years and is now back as part of the full-time crew, ready to train the next classes. What is the attraction of this life, this career?
It's the ability to have your career and then have a life outside of that too. So you get the schedules a month on, a month off, 2 months on, 2 months off, whatever it is. It affords you the opportunity to do, to have a hobby, to have another passion, to have even another career too.
Another pilot arrives to bring the big ship into her dock in Castine Harbor. It's required by regulation. Skip Strong, Penobscot Bay pilot, and Maine Maritime class of 1984.
It teaches us how to make decisions, how to think and make a decision. That decision could be right or it could be wrong, but you know how to make a decision. And if you made the wrong decision, you know how to correct that. And you're going to go off and do that.
For 25 years, the state of Maine has been helping do just that. A replacement is coming. There will be new technology, new and more up-to-date features, but the assignment will be unchanged. Prepare new classes of mariners for the work we all need done to move the cargo and commerce that fuel the world economy and carry on a Maine heritage as old as the state for which the ship is named.
Captain MacArthur says for now the students are heading out into a very good job market where they stand an excellent chance, once they have the needed Coast Guard licenses, of getting high-paying jobs at sea.
They also say it's still not certain what ship the school will use for next year's training cruise. If the new State of Maine isn't ready by then, the old ship may be used once again, or they may team up with Massachusetts or New York students on one of the new ships that have already been delivered.